Are you one of those Medicare beneficiaries who's having to make the tough decision between staying on your current group health coverage and delaying your Medicare, or vice versa? Then this is definitely a video that you'll want to watch. What's up, friends? Rob here with Agape Insurance and Financial Group in North Mississippi. And today I'm going to be breaking down some key factors that you need to be made aware of if you are deciding between staying on group coverage and delaying your Medicare, or vice versa. So let's look at one of the key factors that we really need to be aware of when it comes to making this important decision, and that is in regards to Medicare penalties. Medicare will penalize you if you do not handle this decision correctly. And so one of the main things I want to talk about when it comes to this is in regards to credible coverage. Medicare says that if you are going to delay your Medicare, and that is your Medicare Part B, B as in boy, then you need to be on credible coverage, because this will also affect your Medicare Part D, that's your prescription drug plan as well. So I want to define to you what credible coverage is and what it's not. We'll also have this on the screen for you as I read this, and it says Medicare deems credible coverage as if it meets or exceeds the value of the standard Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage. In simpler terms, credible coverage provides similar or better benefits than Medicare itself. This distinction has implications for Medicare enrollment and potential penalties. You need to make sure that if you're going to delay your Medicare, that it is deemed as credible coverage. And I want to give you some insurances that are not deemed as credible coverage. Number one is employer plans with under 20 employees. So if you're going to stay on your employer's group health insurance, it has to be 21 employees and above. Anything under 20 is not considered credible coverage. Also, COBRA. A lot of Medicare beneficiaries I see make this mistake thinking COBRA is considered credible coverage. It is not, and you could incur a Part B and Part D penalty if you may stay on COBRA and delay your Medicare, retiree plans, marketplace plans. We see this quite frequently, that a lot of Medicare beneficiaries are put on these Affordable Care Act plans, and they're not told that they can stay on those because sometimes they are cheaper or more affordable to stay on an Affordable Care Act plan than it is to go on Medicare. And so they want to stay on that more affordable plan, and they could have to pay Medicare penalties, or they will pay Medicare penalties, I should say, if they don't go on Medicare. Also, TRICARE and veteran benefit plans. So these are just some insurances that you need to be made aware of when it comes to making that decision. By the way, you can call us on the number on the screen and talk to either myself or one of our seasoned advisors here. And this is at no cost, no obligation to you. And we can answer any more questions in depth, or feel free to put comments down in the comment section below, and we will do our best to answer those in a timely fashion. So one of the most important key factors is staying on credible coverage if you are going to delay your Medicare. If you are getting value out of this video so far, please take a moment to smash or hit that like button for us. This just allows us to help more Medicare beneficiaries like yourself. So let's look at some other key factors that we need to be made aware of when it comes to making this decision on whether I should go on Medicare or delay my Medicare or stay on group coverage. And that is, we have to look at a couple of things here. Number one is, and I'm going to put a little chart on the screen for us so you can follow along, is premiums. What am I currently paying versus what are my premiums going to be when I go on Medicare? What about deductibles? Deductibles play a big part when it comes to if I'm staying on group coverage or if I'm going on Medicare. Co-insurance percentages. Max out of pockets. This is a big one. This is the most the beneficiary have to pay in one calendar year, or I should say required to pay in one calendar year, whether that is on my group plan or whether that is on Medicare, co-payments. And then here's a big one, prescription drugs. Sometimes some of the drugs that you are on currently are covered better on your group health plan than they will be on Medicare. Now, the good news is if you go on Medicare and you have a high-tiered drug, we do have some solutions that we can give you to help mitigate that cost. But those are things that you need to consider. Is this drug very important to my overall health? And I need to know, is it going to be covered better if I stay where I'm at? Or is it going to be covered better if I go on Medicare. This is why it's important that you get with a seasoned Medicare advisor like us here at Agape to navigate this for you, because I believe the prescription drugs, if not the most important, it's right up there in the top top three factors that you need to consider when going on Medicare or staying on group coverage. Once again, you can call the number on the screen at no cost, no obligation to you. We do work in most states, but if we are not in your state for whatever reason, we have a trusted network of advisors that we can recommend to you to make sure you get this decision right. So this is another key factor when it comes to should I go on Medicare or should I stay on a group coverage, is you doing the apples to apples, oranges to oranges comparison between group and Medicare cost. Another key factor that we need to look at when it comes to whether I should delay my Medicare and stay on group coverage or vice versa is the two options that we have when it comes to going on Medicare. I have a little chart here on the screen for you to look at as well. Is there's two main options. Am I going to stay on original Medicare where I get a Medigap or Medicare supplement plan with a prescription drug plan and any other ancillary plan that I may need to address my healthcare needs? Or am I going to go on a Medicare Advantage plan, also known as a Part C plan? Those are other things I need to consider, because if I go on original Medicare with a supplement, drug plan, and any other ancillary plan, that is generally a higher cost per month because I have to factor in my Medicare Part B premium into that as well. And that is $174.70. And then I have to add whatever other plans that I may need to go along if I'm going to stay on original Medicare. But even if I go on a Medicare Advantage plan, which most of them are zero premiums in most area, I still have to pay my Part B premium, which is $174.70 in 2024. I may have some other plans that I need to combine with that in order to get the best coverage possible. Choosing which direction I'm going to go is also going to be a key factor in deciding if I'm going to delay my Medicare or stay on my group coverage. One other thing that I'll mention to you in this video that I believe is another key factor is when it comes to IRMAA. IRMAA in the most basic form, and we'll put up what it is according to Medicare on the screen here, but in the most basic form is depending on my income, I could have to pay a surcharge. Some people refer to it as a penalty on my Part B premium as well as my Part D premium. So depending what my income is, and Medicare looks over the past 2 years that if I have a higher income than the average Medicare beneficiary, then I'm going to have to pay the surcharge. Now you see the chart here on the screen. It says that if I'm married and I make less than or equal to $206,000, I do not have to pay this surcharge. However, and I'm just going to use the married example, you can also see the single and married categories here on the screen. I make greater than $206,000 and less than or equal to $258,000. Then if on my Part B, they're going to take that $174.70 that the average Medicare beneficiary pays, and they're going to add $69.90 to that. Okay. If I get a drug plan, and the lowest drug plan for 2024 is 50 cents. If I get a 50-cent drug plan, they're going to add $12.90 to that. So 50 cents plus $12.90 or $174.70 plus $69.90, and it just goes up from there. So that is another key factor that we need to look at, that if you make a higher income than what this chart says that you can make, then that is definitely going to be a key factor when it comes to should I stay on group and should I go on Medicare? And once again, Medicare reevaluates this every 2 years. This is what we call an IRMAA penalty, and these are the numbers for 2024. Well, there are some other factors that we did not get to in this video today, but we would love to discuss those with you more in detail. And you can call the number on the screen at no cost or no obligation to you, and we would be more than happy to dissect that and go over that in more detail. Well, we pray you got value out of this video today. God bless you guys, and we'll see you on the next video.